Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. The warden is still positive with COVID, but he's going to join us online. So, Robert, if you can hear us, just wave your hand when you want to speak, and we'll try to take you into the line. Thank you. First of all, we'll start with a moment of silence, as always. Thank you. First, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in the Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and non-ceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Item number 4, the approval of the agenda. Moved by Peter. Do we have a seconder? Second by Larry. Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Contrary-minded, motion carried. Item 5, emergency resolutions. Any emergency resolutions? Any emergency resolutions? Seeing none. Number 6, errors and omissions, correction to minutes of for September the 2nd, 25. Any errors or omissions or corrections? Any errors, omissions, or corrections? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. Item 7, correspondence. Thank you from the Abercrombie Cemetery for grant funding, and thank you from the Ridgeville Cemetery for grant funding. Any comments, questions on that? No, we'll move right along. Number 8, public hearing, dangerous and unsightly premises, 808 Grant and Abercrombie Road, Nova Scotia. Oh, Evans. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Council. Tonight in front of you, I bring 808 Grant and Abercrombie Road. This property was first, there was first a complaint filed on this property in June of 2021, with the initial site visit happening June 2nd of 2021. The property was then posted as dangerous and unsightly, and throughout the years, not a whole lot had been done to it to rectify its issues. Up to the point of last year, November 22nd of 2024, we received a follow-up complaint from that the building condition was deteriorating even further. We're starting to see walls that are collapsing in, the roof is compromised. So we went out and reposted the property as dangerous and unsightly to start this hearing process again. And in the meantime, we received a second complaint on the property again due to its dangerous and unsightly nature. The area that the building is in is frequented by children. There's a bus stop that's located close to that, as well as sidewalks and crosswalks near the building. Obviously, it poses a serious safety concern, and I deemed it dangerous and unsightly both, and I would ask for your support in a demolition notice tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan. The owner of that property is present tonight. We'll allow him to speak.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bruce Levy.
Is there a resolution for him?
I'm the son of Ron and Dal Levy, who are responsible for the Chad Transit System that is now servicing all of Pictou County. I've been dealing with this issue since longer than 2021. There's a problem with the road where that pylon is. I have a couple hundred pictures on my laptop I can get. I have emails going back. My issue is that I'm using the building as leverage. I want to take it down. It's costing me tax dollars. It looks horrible. I want it gone. I want it gone for a long time. But we have to fix the road. And I've had emails going back and forth, and nobody wants to fix the road. We're worried of the building sitting there, but yet where that pylon is, someone could fall through. There is so much water that comes through Abercrombie that a small kid or a child or dog could be swept away. And I have all kinds of information to support all this. I have no problem ripping down the building. I'll rip down tomorrow if you tell me you're going to fix the parking lot. And that's a major issue. I have and I don't want to fight it with this, and I've said that in many of my emails. And that's why I sold my business, because I was so stressed out that I couldn't handle dealing with the stress anymore. So I sold it on 6/14/21, emailed Ann regards on the tax bill, mailboxes, which I didn't approve to be on the thing, water hookup and cleanup. She shuts the store. Before all this, we had talked over the phone several times. She gave me a few things to fix up. I fixed everything you asked. 6/15/21, Ann replied acknowledging the improvements and giving me contact numbers for DOT, Building Inspector, Public Works, Department for New Glasgow. I replied, thank you. 7/19/21, left the email to Ann about shocking the registered letter, as I thought we were working together to resolve the situation before someone got hurt, which someone already did get hurt, as Larry is aware of. I had given Ann my cell phone number and email and thought we were trying to resolve this erosion problem together. 7/19/21, I sent 5 pictures of the erosion parking lot. I got no reply to the pictures. I forwarded these to 13 people below. I can list all the people if you wish, but I think we all know who got them all. But if you want to, do you want me to say who I sent them all to? Yes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, where are all at here? Forward, Pat Dunn, Brian Cullen, Larry Turner, Logan McDowell, Keith McDonald, Pictou West MLA, Ann McCarthy, Joey McDonald, Fred Leahy, Nancy Dix, and then later forwarded Jody Graham. Okay, so then 5/31/22, I messaged Merrick Jackson, we'll get in the sinkhole fixed because it's getting real bad. I had a customer come over and say that they fell in it and wanted something done. He said he'd get material right away. On 6/1/22, Merrick replied saying the hole was too big for material, that 2 different sized pipes, which were impossible to join. He mentioned removing 30 feet of the pipe and leaving the section open ditch. I replied to Merrick thanking him for taking immediate action, as I had no help anywhere else along the way. And I'm just highlighting these emails. These are very, very, this is as short as I can be. I don't want an open ditch. We bought that in '76. It was a closed ditch then. That I need the sinkhole fixed. That I'm paying taxes, extra money. That's cost me because I would just be paying money for a blank parking lot that wouldn't look like this, which I don't want to look like this. And that it mentioned that the culvert pipe had been closed off by the town. The town put a sidewalk in on the west side of Glasgow, coming down on the river side of the road. And when they did that, they closed off my part of the culvert pipe. And at some point, someone put a 3-foot pipe inside the 4-foot pipe, and it did not fit, causing the erosion. And I have messages from Mark, him stating that, yes, it's a bad fit, and it's not working. So I sent him several pictures. He discussed maybe taking the ditch out, but again, I said that wasn't appropriate. And then 6/28/22, Ann emailed me. She was prepared to close it as long as I fixed up the steps, did everything she required. Then in 5/25/23, following a conversation, Logan emailed me Larry Turner's contact information to see if we get some resolutions going there. 6/7/23, met with Logan, Merrick, and Keith. I was notified about the meeting 12 minutes before. I was understaffed. I wasn't able to make the meeting. The town of Glasgow refused to go to this meeting. On January 14/24, I dropped off a letter to Pat Dunn, as he was a family friend, and I was hoping that he could probably hopefully help with this. 6/8/25, Logan emailed me and said there was a meeting, went well. He would get back to me with resolution. 6/26/25, Logan emailed me reviewing things in-house and expect to provide a response next week. 7/19/23, I'm back in time here, sorry. I had several conversations with Logan McDowell. He sent me an email from Keith, myself, Brian, and Larry, saying they'd fix the problem with an open ditch, or at my expense, they would fill it closed. Again, I don't understand why I would have to pay for it. It's not my problem. I don't need the culvert pipe. It's closed off on one side. I didn't do the infrastructure for the town, and I don't know why I would need it. I forwarded all these emails on 5/30/24 to Pat Dunn, Brian Cullen, Larry Tierney, Logan McDowell, Keith McDonald, Pictou West MLA, Ann McCarthy, Joe McDonald, Fred Haddad, Nancy Dix. The only one to get back to me was Fred Haddad. And then on 5/14/25, I reported Jody Graham. She's the only one that contacted me when I didn't email her, saying that she would buy the property. But where I just sold the store, it wasn't good to do this year because I would just pay it all taxes. And we had to figure out a price, because she said what it was appraised for, and went, obviously it's not going to appraise very much. 7/30/24, I sent an email To the above 10 about the water problem from the stormwater causing problems in 3 places, 808 Abercrombie Road. It isn't just there, 813 Abercrombie Road, and the land behind 813 and the animal hospital. I have pictures to back all this up. It's normally dry. It comes through there like a gushing river when the water's coming through. When we get our 100-year storms that we get almost every year now. And I was trying to get a hold of Audrey. I talked to her at the meeting they had for the home going in the west side of Glasgow, and haven't heard from her. I did not get one reply from the 13 people that I emailed. 7/30/24, I sent pictures of how I fixed the sidewalk on the side of the road. That's another issue I was fighting with the municipality, which Logan's well aware of for years, to try to get the sidewalk fixed. I don't know how someone didn't break their ankle and still hasn't, because it's in horrible shape. This has also been a long battle. I didn't get a reply on that either. 8/9/24, this was the worst water I've seen to date. I can show you some pictures. There was water coming down almost knee-high down Abercrombie Road. I sent an email out to the 10 people with 10 pictures showing how the water is coming at me from all angles, in behind the store and behind the animal hospital, coming down Abercrombie Road, coming down the ditch. But yet there's no water on the side of the culvert pipe beside the sidewalk coming down, because that is closed off. And I have pictures to prove that. So it's all coming from the culvert pipe that was fit in improperly that's causing the undertow. Yeah, so again, on 5/14, I forwarded this to Jody Graham. 5/2/25, I forwarded this thread and everything I had with the other order given to me. I started by saying I do not want to fight about this. I just want to resolve this before someone gets hurt. I don't understand this course of action, or the fact that it's a concern of the building just sitting there when the sinkhole's only feet from the road. I included 13 people in this email: Logan McDowell, Keith McDonald, Brian Cullen, Larry Turner, Ann McCarthy, Joe McDonald, Nancy Dix, Audrey Buchanan, Bryce Jenkins, Sean Fraser, Atlantic News, Mark Jackson, Jessica McDonald. I did not get a reply from anyone other than Jody Graham on 5/14/25, who I didn't even email. And like I said, she offered to buy the property. And then today, there's a serious water problem. I walked through from the end of Parkview to the top of Martin. There's a road that's gone through there all the way up through, and if that gets developed, it's just going to cause more issues. I am trying to help the citizens of Abercrombie. I am not trying to be a hindrance to the citizens of Abercrombie. I made a living in Abercrombie for 4 decades. I was able to retire at a young age by working so hard from Abercrombie. I have a lot of people in there. We always took care of the citizens. If anybody passed, we always sent a basket out to the family. And I'm just trying to get this resolved somehow, because the last thing I had, Ann had asked me to put no trespassing signs. But it's obviously an eyesore and obviously has to be taken care of. And then I have pictures of the sinkhole, and I wrote some key points. I want to demolish the building. It's an eyesore. That's costing me money. It's costing me like extra tax dollars that I could have paid for the removal of it by now with the extra tax dollars I paid. The culvert is closed off on the town side in Glasgow when they put in the sidewalk. There's no water on the side. I have pictures to prove that. I do not require a culvert, so I don't know how it would be up to me to fix it. And I don't know why I should have to pay for improper infrastructure when a larger pipe's put in a smaller pipe, and especially it's within 30 feet from the center of the road, which would not, from what I understand from the law, is not my responsibility. It's been a covered culvert pipe since I moved here in 1976, so I think it'd be godfathered in to stay covered. I used to climb through that culvert as a kid when Ray Bezanson owned the store when I was just young. I have stated several times I'm not in a fight with out of this. I want to find a solution. I will help in any way I possibly can to find a solution. I'm on the side of the citizens of Abercrombie. I don't feel it's safe for heavy equipment to get in there. They might fall through the parking lot. Then who's responsible? Then you're going to tell me I have to pay for all the infrastructure because the equipment I brought in caved it in when it's not safe as it is. More concerned about the building than the sinkhole is only feet from the road. The building has no trespassing signs. I sent an email asking for traffic barriers to put up there to keep people away so they wouldn't go on that part. I didn't get any response whatsoever. I was going to go up the woods and cut some, make my own, but I ended up going on vacation for the first time in 12 years. I didn't give permission for the mailbox to be there. I'm really concerned that someone's going to get hurt. Like, I can show you some pictures. You guys probably aren't aware of the water that's in there. It could easily sweep a child or a dog or anybody of not good size away very easily. I don't think there should be any more development on the west side of Glasgow until this problem is resolved. The clear cutting up in behind is also a problem. That location is a very, very profitable area. It was a successful location for a business for over 100 years. And when I went to business school, I was taught the first 3 rules of business are location, location, location. Mark Jackson has crawled through this pipe with me, and he knows that it's not done well. It was done by C.J. McCullen in 1998. Jim Gavin was the foreman, and he was told the issue that it wasn't going to last. Grant Mason was working for him. He was a customer store, and he told me that, hey, this isn't right, this is not going to work, but he did it. He would still do it anyway, just shut up and do your job, more or less. I was told by people that I can fill it with concrete, and if you want me to tear the building down, I will. I don't really want to cause problems to the west side. For one, I live on the west side, not far from there. But it has to be resolved somehow, so I can just get a Casey concrete in, fill it full of concrete, see what happens. There's also problems behind the video store and lots behind the animal hospital. The neighbor actually moved the creek when he built his house. Nobody said a word about that. I would have pictures going back for that too. And like I said, August of 2024 was the worst I've seen to date. I even have old pictures going back in 8mm camera. And then, and then on my laptop I have 250 pictures. So if you'd like to see some of the pictures, see how damaging it is.
Okay, we thank you for your presentations, or
Do you
opening
want
up
to see
for
some pictures
questions.
too, or? Because I don't know if you guys are really aware of what the water problem is here. Like, it is crucial. You could drive it, you could take a kayak down Abercrombie Road. Right? And I have all kinds to back it up, or when it goes to court, I can do, like, I just want to get it resolved. I'm not here to fight with anybody. I grew up in New Glasgow. I love Pictou County. I'm retired. I got all kinds of money in the bank. I don't need headaches. Love Pictou County. It's a great place. That building looks like crap. Shouldn't be there. Help me out. It's gone.
Council Turner, how do we get this, Brian? Okay, Larry?
Thank you, Bruce, for your presentation. This has been a long-standing issue in Abercrombie. There is a considerable amount of concern from the residents in Abercrombie regarding this property. I have probably more phone calls on this than any other particular issue, other than speeding. It's, as Bruce said, it's an eyesore. There are two distinct different parts to this problem, I think. One is the store itself, which I think Bruce agrees that it's unsightly and it's dangerous. So you're in agree of those two things. I would presume, but if there was some, it's a dangerous property. In my opinion, it's a dangerous property. There's vermin in there as well. There's a lot of complaints from the residents around that there's vermin in and out. The second issue that Bruce has spoken about is the water. And I think that's his biggest issue is the water that comes down from the west side. And he's spoken to that. And he is right about the amount of water that comes down that road from the west side, particularly in a heavy rain. And if Logan was here, he could testify to that as well. Is Logan online? Yes. Okay. Logan could testify to that as well, because where I live, down at the bottom of the road, that's where all that water pools. And there's a pumping station there. So the municipality is very aware of the amount of water that comes down from the west side. And Bruce is absolutely correct in that when I was a kid, there was no sidewalk from the top of the hill on the west side where the churches are down, and it was ditched. And when it was ditched, the water could be handled. The water would come down there and be handled. There was a pipe put in, and since that pipe was put in, and I'm not sure Bruce had talked about the dates on it, pardon me? Okay, when that pipe had gone in, there had been a considerable problem with the water coming down from the west side during a heavy rain. So Bruce is right about that. The piping that's underneath that, so if you can visualize, there's a store, and then there was a parking lot that was paved over, and then there was the drain had gone underneath it. And the drainage issue, and I've had conversations with the Department of Public Works on this, is a dog's breakfast. Okay, it's not constructed properly, and I think Evan can speak to that as well, is that drainage is not constructed properly. So where you see that pylon in that picture, the water comes down from the west side of Glasgow, and it's two things. It runs over top of the parking lot, and it goes down through the pipe, and there's some subsidence there, and there's big holes there, and there are people in Abercrombie that have been hurt walking there, and they've fallen, and one woman that works in the computer store next to it, she had an ankle injury by stepping in one of those holes. So there are two distinct, in my mind, there are two distinct issues. One is the building itself, and the other one is the drainage. And Bruce's argument is that from what I understand, is that, and if I may, just go back to another point. Have you been in discussions with the Department of Public Works recently about purchasing that building?
Yes.
You have? And have you got a response from them?
She mentions that it had to be appraised.
Just wait till the red part comes on your microphone. It's green right now, it'll turn red in a second.
Yeah, she did mention me, and I told her where I just sold the store, that it will all go to Camp Legaines, that I couldn't possibly sell this year because I just paid all in taxes, and she was supposed to get a hold of me the end of this year, the first of next year. But she said she needed it appraised, but I know what the property's worth because any business can run in there. It's a very profitable, it's the only corner lot in Abercrombie. So I wouldn't be willing to sell it. I originally said 200,000, I would be around 150,000. I wouldn't consider selling it for like 30, 40, 50, 60, yeah. I wouldn't consider selling it for a low price because it's worth a fortune. It's a corner lot.
Is it a possibility that you could tear the store down? Is it a possibility that you could tear the store down and just leave the drain as it is and leave that responsibility to the Public Works? Is that a possibility?
When's it gonna take place? Because all I've been told so far is that it's my responsibility to fix it.
The drain, just wait till the red light comes on.
Tear that down, I'll let it sit there forever, sure, but does it ever get fixed?
You mean the drain?
Does my parking lot get fixed, or is it just a worthless piece of property? Because without that drain being fixed, and then someone's gonna get hurt, like, that is bad. Like,
So your concern is about the value of the
Well,
property
a
being...
second, Larry. You can turn it back on here. Okay.
So your biggest concern is about the value of the property being lessened by that parking lot issue and the drainage issue, if you do go to sell that particular property. That's your issue?
that is my issue, someone getting hurt from
Okay,
that, because it's so close to being broken.
Okay.
That would be my first issue.
your first issue is,
Getting hurt.
okay. And, well,
Secondly, of course, is, yeah.
okay, that's okay, I'm just waiting for your mic,
Okay.
so. Adam, yeah, okay.
Yeah, my major concern is someone getting hurt. And my major concern is if I tear the building down, which I want to, that it's just never gonna get addressed. Because I was talking to also Stewart's, the guy that ran Stewart's Jacket, or Stewart's Bottle Return on the other end of town, and he said he fought for 20 years over it. And I don't wanna fight for it over 20 years. Right, because it's right on the county line, so that puts the province in play. the town of Glasgow, I was talking to Nancy Dix, I called her yesterday, she called me back, she sent me an email that she says that she doesn't, as far as she's concerned, New Glasgow has nothing to do with, it's not their problem. They were told it wasn't their problem. I tried to explain to her, Nancy's a good person, I know her well. And, but in her mind, it's not their problem. And so I get so far with somebody, then like Mark was DOT, Mark did everything he could do for me, but then he couldn't do any more. And then, you know, I kept going in the circle, and then I went right back to the circle, and here we're right back to where we were in 2021. And I wanted to rip it down in 2021. I would have saved enough taxes to pay for the demolition.
One more thing.
Yep.
Just to keep everybody up to speed on this, and Bruce is correct, there's a tremendous amount of water that comes down from the west side into Glasgow. And that is an issue with the town of Glasgow. The property itself is in the county. It's right on the line. So the water that comes down and causes that subsidence comes from the town of Glasgow. Comes down from right down from where the churches are at the top of the hill. Comes right down there, goes underneath the road, and then it causes the subsidence. So there are two jurisdictions involved in here: the town of Glasgow, three really, the municipality, and Nova Scotia Public Works. And to have them all singing under the same hymn book on this issue is a difficult thing. So that's where Bruce's frustration comes from. I can speak on behalf of the residents. The residents don't see those three jurisdictions. The residents don't care about what's public works, don't care about what's municipality, don't care about the town of Glasgow. The residents' concern is its unsightliness and it's dangerous. That's what the residents are concerned about. In terms of resolution and getting those three jurisdictions together, I'm not sure how to go about that. I've been trying to go about it for probably 10 years, 10 years, with no resolution. So that's where we stand. So that's my perspective on and my explanation of what's happened here with this particular issue. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Anybody else? Any comments? Slow, go ahead, Cheryl. We can get you signed in here first. Okay, you're good.
Thank you very much, Deputy Warden Murray. Thank you for coming tonight and giving us some explanation on this. I just want a little, just a comment you made about bringing equipment in there on the property, because you said something along the lines of that you're nervous that it kind of couldn't hold, it could cave in. Am I understanding that correctly? So I guess I'm trying to picture this hole underneath the parking lot and so going back to my question, would it be correct in saying that there's some hesitation there if you were to tear the property down, that the equipment that might be needed to do so could possibly fall in, could sink in? So that's another layer to that safety issue. Okay. All right, thank you.
Logan, do you want to comment on that? You're online there.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
we have 2 sewer pipes in the area, and the provincial Department of Public Works has storm sewer piping in the area. And the issue really is on the drainage side of things is related to the stormwater piping. And also, as was mentioned, as we mentioned here before, also the drainage from the town of Glasgow from historical development on the west side of Glasgow as well. But there's no question that there are drainage issues. And I think the 3 groups, the town of New Glasgow, the municipality of Pictou County, and the provincial Department of Public Works are willing to work with groups or work together at least, I guess, the biggest of our 3 entities on some type of solution for the drainage. But as was mentioned here already, this partially
Lost them. Just hang on, Logan, we lost your voice there. Okay, you're back, so try it again.
the town of Glasgow, the municipality of Pictou County, have a willingness to work and have sort of ideas on a possible solution to the drainage item. But they're somewhat, they're only partially related to the containment and Unsightly aspect of the building. So as was mentioned here before, there are sort of 2 related but somewhat separate issues here. But there's no question that Bruce has been dealing with these drainage issues.
Okay, thank you.
Elaborate further if there's no further elaboration needed. That's sort of our side of things right now.
Mr. Chair, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
I guess following up on what Councilor Turner said, and Logan also referred to, as 2 separate issues here. Tonight we're dealing with the dangerous and unsightly, and while I get the tie-in with the drainage problems and everything else, I think we should be looking at the dangerous and unsightly, and if we feel that building is dangerous and unsightly, then I think we need to order it tore down. And then afterwards, and I know, perhaps the gentleman doesn't agree with, that any way of doing anything, but, I think the drainage problem, you put your jersey barriers up around after you tear the building down to make sure that, nobody can drive in there or get in there, and we need to be committed as a municipality, as one of the 3 parties, to commit to, helping, find a solution to the drainage problems, but I don't think we want to lose sight of, in Councilor Turner's area, that his constituents are concerned about the dangerous and unsightly aspect, but I think we have to deal with one thing at a time. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Any further questions? Is he? Okay, go ahead, Logan.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for Carter as well for that. I think to that point, I want to sort of point out that we actually met with the town. I met with the town of Glasgow, one of their engineers, Dr. Buchanan, last week, as well as the area manager for Nova Scotia Department of Public Works, Hugh McDonald. Last week, we met 3 of us and talked about this, and just so that both Bruce and the councilors here tonight don't feel like we're, all talk and no action, we agreed to meet again either in January or February to look at what might be a final solution for this. So we think that there are some things that need to be settled in the meantime over the next couple of months, but we did agree that we're going to meet January or February to look at final resolution as well. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's not all talk and no action. We are looking to make sure that this thing is resolved as well for the benefit of both the people in the area as well as the business and everybody else.
Thank you. Anyone further? Debbie? Go ahead.
Just a couple of concerns. Mr. Levy was concerned about the removal equipment dropping down through that parking lot. Who would be liable for that? Would the liability be on him if he's tearing it down? Like if he's already said that he'd be willing to tear it down. It's just that I can understand his concern on that part. And my second concern is the meeting that Logan had with Town of Glasgow and the Public Works. Was Mr. Levy included in that meeting, or should he have been included in that meeting so that he's aware of what is trying to be done for him? Because I think it's the lack of communication doesn't help anyone. So I would like to see those two things. A, who would be responsible for the liability if one of the machines went through that parking lot? And secondly, perhaps they could include Mr. Levy in these discussions or having planned for the area, just to let him know where we're at with it.
Any answers to that?
As for the liability side, there are more options to tear that building down than just from the road, just from where you folks are seeing that. Verhagen's Demolition viewed this property and are convinced that they could demolish it without any issue. My side of this has nothing to do with drainage in the area. It's got nothing to do with water runoff from the west side. My job here tonight was to bring forward a dangerous and unsightly property for a hearing. And that's what this is. That's all I have for tonight. I don't have any further information about how the water may affect those types of things, but I can say that Verhagen's had said they would have no issue tearing that building down as it sits today with those in the road. So.
Okay, thank you, and I agree with you. There's two different issues for sure. And here tonight, we're for a hearing for the building on 808 Granton Road. So we do have a resolution in front of you. Everybody sees it. How do you wish to proceed with it? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Logan.
Hi, thank you. Just a quick response there. Thank you, Councilor Watt, for the point. I do agree that we want to be as forthcoming and transparent with Mr. Levy as possible. The reason why this particular meeting wasn't brought to Mr. Levy's attention was at the request of the Provincial Department of Public Works, who just intervened because of the status, but not bring it forward because they're working on some things on their own end, and they just asked. I think they're trying to confirm a resolution on their end, so they just asked that. That's why we're meeting again at the beginning of February. They're hoping to have additional developments by then. But that was the only reason why I wasn't made aware of both the meeting and the discussions therein. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, how do you want to proceed? Certainly have the resolution in front of us. Somebody want to move it or back away from it, or we have to deal with it? Darla's first.
All right, thank you, Deputy Warden. While I think they are two separate issues, I understand Mr. Levy's frustration. May I ask how long this was a problem before 2021 and these emails started? When did the problem start happening here? And when did you start maybe contacting 2017? So this is something that's been going on for 8 years.
I just started, 2021 is when I started, when I got the formal notice, when I started keeping track of everything.
Document. And I guess what makes me, I'm trying to look through this lens is that if you have no problem tearing down the building, not in the slightest, and we would happily tear down the building, but by tearing down the building, you kind of lose your leverage of getting this road fixed, right? Or this pipe or water issue, whatever we're calling it.
It's not just the front of the road, it's in behind as well. The water comes into the ditch and goes in behind. It's totally dry all year long, unless we get rain. It's just all runoff water.
So I kind of feel like you've been getting the runaround since 2021.
Yeah,
A
all fine.
long time.
And then I want to develop my property behind you, but I can't develop that if I have water to behind.
Right.
If I can't get anybody to work with me. I don't really understand all this work and all those things, but I've always been
Right. So while these are, in my opinion, two separate issues, and we're here tonight for the dangerous unsightly, I think it's a bit different than what we're used to in the fact that we have somebody that's willing to play ball with us, but by playing ball, their issue that they're trying to do for their community and for their property at no fault of their own is impeding on that. So I don't know. I guess I have issue a bit about that. So whatever council decides tonight, I would like to say that I hope that Logan and Public Works and Town of Glasgow can get together in a timely manner, and hopefully not wait until January or February to get together and deal with this issue. We talk about getting people out walking and recreation in the community, and I think that the residents in Abercrombie deserve better. Thank you.
Okay, Larry, we'll get you, there you go.
Is Robert next? His name's there. Okay.
You're ready to go.
Yes, it's been passed by council, and the money's in place for it. So it's going to be built. It's going to be built. Okay? I'm willing to consider deciding on this issue after the meeting between the municipality and the town of Glasgow and the province. I'm willing to delay my decision on that till that conversation has taken place. And by the way, half those pictures are right in front of my house. So all that water that Bruce is talking about comes down and lays in front of my house. So, pardon me? I'm in the white one, right across from the service station. So I'm at the bottom of that. I'm right by the pump house. So anyway, I'm willing to delay my decision on that. If that decision comes to a resolution, we come to a resolution on the drainage, then it's going to be Bruce's responsibility to take that building down. So if we get a resolution on that from those three parties, I'm willing to delay my consideration on the resolution tonight until that meeting takes place. If they come to a conclusion and find some way to alleviate that problem, then the onus is on Bruce to take that building down. If there is no resolution and we're back to square one again, I think it's got to come down. The building has to come down. And if Verhagen says they can do it from a different vantage point, then that should be done. So
I can't speak to what they would sign, but I know we've had discussions with them, and they've said that there's other avenues there. And to your point, Bruce, like I understand the flooding issues there obviously are a big problem. This has been brought to me multiple times by the area councillor as well as multiple people from the community. That's why it's here tonight for consideration.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Boyles?
Yeah, just a couple of things here. Is there a basement in your building? Yeah, the old store that they went. So it's just on flat ground. So there won't be any backfill or anything needed there, or okay. And another thing that really worries me, I guess maybe Evan could tell us on this, is how unsafe is this building? They said about children being around there and stuff like this. That's a big concern to me. If there's children around there and this building can cause, somebody be hurt. So could you speak to that?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. To Mr. Levy's credit, there are no trespassing signs up around the property. I think he's taken steps to maybe negate people from trespassing around. But I will say there is a bus stop there. Kids frequent the area. There's a store that he's well known to, right across the road, sells a lot of candy and things. So it's a highly populated area. It's a building that is clearly compromised. I mean, you can see in the photos that you've got walls that are starting to lean. The roof has collapsed in one large section of it. So totally understand council's point on holding off. But what I will say is this is a clear-cut case of dangerous and unsightly, and we do need to deal with this before too late.
Well, again, I just want to know and make it clear that is there any possibility, the way the building is, that that building can come down when them kids are waiting for a bus or something? Is it that unstruct, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to, I guess, hypothesize too much on that, Peter. I mean, anything's possible, certainly. Like I said, Mr. Levy has taken steps, I think, to discourage people from congregating close to that. But that doesn't mean that a kid is not going to cross through there walking home off the bus and the wall's not going to fall, or a piece of the roof's going to collapse. I mean, truly anything can happen. So I don't want to put too much stock in saying that because we don't know. Could sit there for the next 20 years and be completely fine. But we certainly know that it is compromised and it meets the level of dangerous and unsightly in this county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one other thing I just asked is like this meeting they're going to have in January. If the building was taken down, would that stop this meeting, or would the meeting still go ahead?
I would, hopefully, if the meeting's gonna go ahead before the building comes down, it happens before January. I think we should put a time frame on it. That would be my guess. Councillor Thompson?
Thank you. I got a lot of concerns about what's being agreed to here right now. We have some liabilities here right now, and they're for everybody to see. There's been a report that's come to our council that says this building is dangerous and unsightly, and we have a whole bunch of people in the community that want to see some resolution to that particular item, not about the ditch. There's an issue with water. But I think we're leaving ourselves in an awful spot right now if we don't make a decision on this dangerous and unsightly. And if we delay this is not a good thing. I think they're two separate issues. I agree that there's an issue with water there that you can see by the pictures. But they're two separate issues. This is a dangerous and unsightly building. In today's climate, people are, any old dilapidated building is potential for somebody to roam into it, whether they're trying to get out of the cold and weather conditions. And this is another one of those buildings that people could target. We need to deal with this tonight, and I don't know if we need to go in camera and get some legal advice, but I think that this needs to be dealt with tonight. The Pandora's box has been opened with the report from our Director of Emergency Management, and for us to delay this until a meeting happens about a totally separate issue, the logic doesn't connect for me. So I'm requesting that we get some legal opinion on this before we make any decisions. Thank you.
Okay, and we will go in camera, but Councillor Bailey has a question first before we go into camera.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. I guess I'm pretty much in the same frame of mind as Councillor Thompson is, but water runs downhill. So, I mean, when it rains, like, we can say that the sidewalk cost it, but before that, the water would be still coming down. My issue is, and I don't understand why we would even be talking about, as far as the water goes, is if TIR's infrastructure is not good enough to take that water away, to me, they should be doing something about it. I'm questioning as to why we're even involved in something that we're involved with the property because it's unsightly. I'm questioning why we're even involved in the property because of the water. And maybe I missed something there, but to me, I agree, we could be opening ourselves into something that could cost our residents a lot of money.
Thank you. Bruce wants one final.
Is there no
One
cons-
second, okay, we got your
Sorry.
line.
I was just wondering, you're concerned about the building that's just sitting there. Is there no concern about the sinkhole that is like just a couple feet from the edge of the road? Like if a bus or a big truck just happened to veer over just a wee little bit, and it's say if an oil truck pulled in, and an oil truck pulled over just aside a little bit, and it sunk down, and the oil spilled all through Abercrombie, I'm not taking responsibility for that.
Yep.
Like that to me is as much of a possibility as a building that's just sitting there with nobody touching it, with no posted signs, and I can put a barrier around it. I want to take it down. But I don't see how you're not as concerned about a sinkhole that's just feet from a road that could cause a lot more damage than a building that's sitting there.
Okay, thank you. We'll take that into consideration. Go ahead, Warden. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
I think back to where it was, I guess, but I do agree with Councillor Thompson on the fact that these are two separate issues, and you know, they've agreed to tear the building down, to perhaps not tear the building down because we want to use it as a leverage point on getting the drainage fixed. I think is wrong. I think we can be terribly liable if other things happen after we tear the building down. Then bad things can happen anytime, anywhere. But you know, our responsibility right now, I think, is to get that building down and out of the way, put the Jersey barriers up, as you said, and rely on the goodwill of people. And I know that's hard to do when you wait so long to solve that drainage problem. But our job, I think, here tonight as council is to get that building down, and that's what was brought forward to us by our staff. That's what we should be concentrating on. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have a motion to move into, okay, Donnie first, before we go into camera.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I agree with Councillor Thompson there. I think this issue should be voted on here tonight. This is a problem, and it's dangerous, and it's time to take it down. And I mean, if Verhagen says they can tear it down without being a problem, I don't see that as being an issue. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So we still want to go in camera? We need a motion to go in camera to do. Move, do we have a seconder? Seconded by Joe. Okay, we will go in camera. So We're gonna vote on this thing, right? Yes, please. Okay, we're back into council again. And Larry, were you gonna make a motion, or Andy, was it? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Andy. Well,
There we go. Okay. So, I guess I'll move that, do you want me to read this whole thing? So in the matter, this matter of 808 Granton Abercrombie Road, I move that we provide, we're going to take this building down, demolish it within the next 30 days, or after, give 30 days notice for demolition of this dangerous and unsightly property.
Thank you. Do we have a
Okay.
seconder? Regular moved and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Hearing none, we're gonna use our new machines here to vote, so when Brian gets it set up. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So we'll do this, we'll close it, and then you ask for Robert's vote.
Okay. You understand that, Robert? You hear us? We're gonna do the vote on our new machines, we'll close it, and then we'll ask you for your vote.
Okay?
Okay?
Okay, voting is open.
Okay, voting is open.
Okay, voting is closed in the board.
Okay, Robert, your vote nay or yay?
I vote yea in favor of the motion.
Okay, thank you. We have a tally of the motion.
Unanimous.
Unanimous motion, so the motion is carried. So the next step is to serve the papers, is it? Okay. Okay, thank you.
What happens if, when I get something ready, something happens, something on the road,
I think that Logan said that he'd move on that issue and meet with Glasgow and Public Works and see what they can come up with. Right.
I'll take it down, I want something ready, I want it small, so no things,
Yeah.
for any distance costs, or else put on
I think that's a Public Works issue, not ours. We don't own the road, so. Okay, thank you. Okay. Move on to item number 9, Pictou County Food Bank East, Shelley Manning. You're up next, Shelley. Yeah, thanks, Rose. Okay.
Good evening, folks, and as mentioned, my name is Shelley Manning. I'm with Pictou County Food Bank East. Thank you so very much for putting time on your agenda for us this evening. I'll try and be quick. I do have a tendency to speak quite quickly as well, so if you have any questions, say slow down, just give me a shout. Anyway, so just wanted to give you a little bit of information about the food bank and what we're up to. So to begin with, just kind of mentioning, we've been around for about 36 years. We're a not-for-profit agency. We don't receive any funding from government for our day-to-day operations. We are in New Glasgow, and we provide service to families throughout Pictou County with the exception of the town of Pictou. In fact, about 19% of our clients are from the rural communities outside of the small towns like New Glasgow and Trenton and Stellarton and Thorburn. We are operated solely by volunteers, both with our day-to-day operations as well as our board. We also have another group of volunteers who are very special and dear to us. They're a group that started during the pandemic, and they provide deliveries. That was during the pandemic. It was 3 days a week, and now basically it's just on Wednesdays. It was spearheaded by Jim McKenna. And to date, from the end of August, from January to the end of August, they've made about 1,000 deliveries for home deliveries. So for clients that call in, if they're able to get on the schedule of the deliverers, it's certainly very valuable to them. I'll also mention the fact that we are accredited with Food Banks Canada. We're one of the first in Nova Scotia. We're very proud of that fact. We received that designation last fall. And it basically just kind of validates that we are meeting and exceeding the standards that exist across the country. And that's just information there on our food bank website. To date, just looking at kind of who our clients are and kind of how many households we provide support to, from the beginning of the year to the end of August, we had 1,348 households that we provided food to. And this represented about 3,100 individuals. And one of the things that we continue to see, our numbers are about the same as last year. We've got 198 new households as of the end of August. But what we're seeing are the clients are coming more regularly. Some will come monthly, as they are eligible to. Others might come every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks. So again, what we're starting to see is they're coming a little more frequently than they used to. So we are seeing our numbers rise up a little bit by that particular piece. About 32% of the individuals are providing food to our children. 44% are in single person households. So looking at seniors or individuals that are living on their own. From the beginning of January to the end of August, we've provided 5,325 orders. As I mentioned, our clients are eligible to come once a month. And again, when they do come, they receive a basket of food that includes perishable, non-perishable items, as well as personal hygiene items if we have them, treats and things like that as well. So our operations, as I mentioned, we are a not-for-profit organization, so we rely very heavily on the generosity of this lovely community that we live in and call Pictou County. We receive support from individuals, from companies, from organizations, from churches, different community groups as well. And about 25% of our food also comes from Feed Nova Scotia, which is the provincial association that provides food to the various food banks across the country, across the province. Excuse me. And as I mentioned, we rely very heavily on our volunteers. We have about 55 volunteers that come in 5 days a week. 3 days we meet our clients, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8:30 to 11:30. We have volunteers at that time, and then also on Tuesday and Thursday. Basically, they're to stock shelves and make things ready for our delivery meeting of our clients during our open days. Most of us are seniors, but we do have a few that are not seniors that we're kind of really excited about. It's nice to see some young folks that are able to come and provide some volunteer time with us as well. One of the things, I guess, like everybody, all our costs are increasing. And so we continue to see our prices rise. It costs about $300,000 a year for us to run our organization, and about $20,000 a month we're buying food. So what we're not receiving in donations or from the various groups that provide support to us, we're out buying that food ourselves. So how does it work? You're probably very well aware. It's very simple. We do not have an income cap. And I think often folks believe, oh gosh, somebody makes so much money, they're not eligible to come to the food bank. We don't ask for your level of income for someone to come to the food bank. They have to provide us with basic information, their name, date of birth, for themselves and each member of their household. We might ask what is their source of income, but not what is the amount of income that they receive. And we have phone number and an address for them as well. And one of the things that we we need each time they come to the food bank is ID, indicating, I'm Shelley Manning, I'm a family of 4, here's the ID for my 4 family members, and that has to be provided each time. Often things change, like, families split up, so again, you want to make sure that we're not feeding or providing something for a family one day and find out the next week, oh no, we're split up, I have the children. So again, just trying to make sure that we are providing the food to the right people, the right families. But anyway, it is very simple. As I mentioned, we're open 3 days a week to serve our clients, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 8:30 until 11:30. And I guess how can we work together? And that's kind of the core reason for me being here tonight is, one, let you know that we're out there, and I think probably you are already very much aware of the fact that we're out providing support to our neighbors. But if you're doing an event and you think, well, look, maybe we can add a food drive on this, certainly we'd be very happy to work with you to provide you with promotion and support you supporting us. Also, you could share information about our services to your constituents, and then also share information from our social media posts on your sites or whatever possible way you can to let people know that we're out there. And one of the things we've been trying to do in the last year or so is be a little more proactive with our social media posts and identifying that, again, coming to the food bank, unfortunately, it's a very, very common thing now. It's not something that people need to have any stigma about, but of course people still do. And so we'll say, look, come once, you don't need to come every month. If you happen to have a car breakdown, or kids are going to school and you need to put backpacks together and new clothing, the food bank's here, and that's what it's there for, to help people when they need a help. So certainly that's kind of one of the things we're trying to get out there this year as well. And again, just being a little more proactive and letting people know what we need, what we could use, and again, open to any suggestions you folks might have on how you might be able to partner with us or anything like that. But that's kind of it in a nutshell. I wanted to kind of just give you a little bit of an overview of kind of what we're currently facing, how we're working with. And one of the things we are trying to do too, I didn't mention, is working with other organizations where they might, like for instance, I made a presentation to, or not a presentation, participated with Nova Scotia Community College in Stellarton, and found out they have a food pantry. And so in discussions there, we talked about, well, maybe we have things that we can provide to you for your food pantry. So finding areas where we might be able to partner with groups. We have done it with some of the schools where maybe we have an abundance of a particular product that they could use in their lunch program or things like that. And so we're certainly working on maintaining those partnerships and trying to find ways to make sure that food is getting to those in need. For us, it's not just about being our client, but it's about our community. So trying to ensure we have those venues and partnerships open and continue to maintain them. Anyway, that's kind of all I wanted to say. Again, I do appreciate you giving us time on your agenda. Hope I haven't spoken too quickly, but if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to try and answer them for you.
Thank you very much, Shelley. That's great. And if you have something going on, you can likely get a hold of Adam. He can likely put it on our social media for you and help out. So we'll open up the floor for questions. Go ahead, Tony.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your presentation. I think you guys are doing a great job there, and it's something that's really needed in our community, obviously. It's too bad it is, but it is. What happens if you get somebody that's homeless now? There's a lot of homeless people. They don't have an address. Can you help them, or?
Come on.
Most certainly, and unfortunately, we are seeing more and more unhoused homeless people than we ever have before. We do allow a different kind of criteria for homeless individuals. They're allowed to come more regularly. We've done up packages that are kind of providing more non-perishable items and items that have like the pop top. If it's like a tuna, you don't necessarily have an opener for it. Trying to ensure we provide like protein bars, and obviously they can get the regular food too, but sometimes they have no capacity to cook or to keep things cold. So basically we give them kind of a carte blanche where they can come in on a more regular basis, and we give them kind of what they feel they can use during that time. And sometimes they don't have IDs, sometimes they don't have addresses, and we make allowances. We do, unfortunately. Yeah. You're more than welcome. We're trying to be compassionate. Sometimes, again, it's always a challenge, but certainly wanting to ensure that we're getting food to the people that need it. And unfortunately, I was reading an article, I think from Food Banks Canada, Nova Scotia, we're the highest in the country for food insecurity at about 29%. And, it's a real, one of those areas you certainly don't want to be at the top of anyone's list on. But, so yeah, no, we certainly have quite a need here.
Okay, thank you. Just a reminder, when you finish speaking, shut your mic off. It's a lot easier to pick up the next one that way. Go ahead, Peter. There we go.
Thanks for coming. I was just wondering, like, I know that there's one out in Thauburn now that somebody's opened up out there to help. Have you any way of tracking to make sure that they're not doing you guys and other agencies to get food?
I'm not sure I understood 100% your question. There's a food pantry or food bank in Thorburn. I'm wondering if we're working with them or trying to check that they're not coming to both.
You're checking that you're not coming to both, or even other places, like the West or something like that. I mean, I know you do your
Yeah.
ID, but is that passed on?
Yeah. We're a part of something called Link to Feed, which is, I think it's national, but certainly in Nova Scotia, it's a system where each food bank that has that, we track our clients. Unfortunately, it didn't have the capacity or the ability to track between the different food banks in the province. And so for a while, we tried to, ensure that, okay, if somebody felt okay, they've gone here, and we think they're going to go to Pictou too. And again, we try to make sure we have some kind of artificial kind of division between ourselves and Pictou. But at the end of the day, if people need food, people need food. I mean, I'd like to think that people are always 100%, up front with us. Sometimes, I'd say 99% of them they are. There might be that 1% that might go to Truro, they might go to Pictou, they might come to New Glasgow. And I think we kind of have come up with a little bit of a really soft policy saying, okay, the time that it takes for us to try and find that particular family or person is not being upfront with us, it's not worth it from the point of view of if they need the food that badly, let's give them the food. I mean, that's kind of what we've gone with. And, again, if we know somebody, someone says, oh, I know that they're here, we might ask them and say, really, you're supposed to come to just one food bank. But at the end of the day, it's about kind of, trying to treat people with dignity and making sure that we have compassion, and if we have the food to provide them, we want to provide the food. But it is a concern, but it's one of those ones that we've kind of put down at the bottom of our list. It was one that we really tried to really work hard on early days, but it's kind of now at the point where you're saying, well, it's just really a lot more work than I think it's. At the end of the day, I think if we have the food, people need it, we'll like to give them the food. Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions for Shelley? Larry, sorry. Okay. Go ahead, Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your presentation. Is there a particular demographic that you serve? Is there like a working poor, or is there a single mother families, or is there? I'm not looking for you to do any profiling or anything like that, but is there a particular demographic that you serve more of?
Shut yours off. Good.
I think at the end of the day, we're seeing a real increase in the working poor. I mean, where you have two members of the household working, and they're still coming to the food bank. And that for me was a real eye-opener when that kind of figure kind of came up. I was like, gosh, these individuals are struggling. And I think, you look at the prices out there, and you look at the cost of fuel, you look at the cost of power, you look at the cost of food. Yeah, it's not hard to imagine that if you have two people working in a household of, 3 or 4 children, it's tough. So, I mean, we're seeing an increase in kind of the working poor seniors and single families. I mean, we've got about 30% of our individuals that we're providing support to are children. So, I mean, families where it's 1 child or 2 children or however many. But I don't know whether I'd say there's one that's kind of significantly that much higher than the others, but it is, we do see that kind of working poor, if you want to use that as a terminology. Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Follow up?
Yep, go ahead, Larry.
does the transit system come by your facility? How often does it come by? And so people can get off there, get serviced at your facility, and then go home from there? If it doesn't, is that something you'd like to see happen, is the transit system come by your facility? And if it doesn't come often enough, is that something that could be worked on to maybe have people access your facility easier by public transit?
The transit system, I think, stops in front of Cineplex, I believe, and we're just around the corner from the Cineplex. And again, I could be, I'm looking over here at Debbie, of course, Warden, Debbie Wadden, one of your counselors. She's been on the board for much longer than I have, so please feel free to jump in, Debbie. It does stop by. I don't think it comes regularly enough that if someone does get dropped off, I don't believe that there's going to be another one coming by in an amount of time that's timely for them to wait and then get on it again. Plus, if you're a family of, if you're a family of 3 or more, you're going to have, a box of perishables. Then you're going to have 3 bags of non-perishable, a box of non-perishables, 3 bags of non-perishables, and then other extra items. It's an awful lot to take with one person on a bus. So I don't know how practical it would be, but it's something that I really haven't looked into. I'm not sure how frequently they do go by, but I have heard just anecdotally people saying, I can get off, but then I need someone to come pick me up, which still is, half the solution.
Debbie, do you have an answer for that, or Robert's waiting, but if you have an answer for that, we'll let you go ahead.
Basically, what Shelley said is that they can get there on the bus, but there's just no way they can carry the groceries that they have, because we do try to give them a decent-sized order, because it's got to last them 3 to 5 days. So they'll come there, but then they have to take a cab home usually, or try to get a cart and walk them home in the cart. So it's just not feasible for them. But
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
Robert?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm trying to figure this hands up and hands down, but that's not working too good. First of all, I want to thank you, Shelley, for not only making the presentation, but you and all the other volunteers. It's a real service to this county, it's really badly needed, and thankful to hear your answer to my brother Donnie's question about the homeless. They are being treated fairly, and they're maybe a little more than fairly sometimes, so that's good to hear. I wonder sometimes why we have the great need that we have for these food banks. I remember back a lot of years ago when I was quite a bit younger, I don't ever remember hearing of food banks. And everybody, I think, was equally poor. Nobody had a lot, but we didn't have that discrepancy between a lot of people who go to the grocery store and pick up whatever they want, not even think about the price. So we have a lot of people who can't, afford to buy enough groceries to feed themselves and their families. So there's some real social problems here behind this, but that's not your folks' problem. You're working very hard to try and help those who need it, so appreciate it. The one question I'll ask, and I asked this when you or some others appeared before the mayor's warden's meeting one day, that I would have assumed that Pictou West Food Bank served Pictou and the Pictou West area, and the Pictou East Food Bank served the upriver towns and the eastern part of our county, but that doesn't seem to be true, and I'm trying to remember the answer you gave then, or somebody did, as to why you do both Pictou West and Pictou East from the Pictou East Food Bank. I don't know if there's overlap between the two, or if your Pictou East Food Bank does all of the rural area in Pictou West. I'd like to hear that answer.
There we go.
Sorry, okay, they were just waiting for it to turn red. I'm not sure if I'm going to give you a great answer. However, I'll give it a shot, and I'll look to Debbie as well to maybe jump in. I think there was a time that we did really have a clear separation, and we do try and say, okay, Pictou town proper is Pictou West, and the area that would be the western part of the county. And then I think just as time has gone on, people are more mobile and people are saying, I'm going to New Glasgow anyway. I want to be able to drop in and get my food there. And again, we do try and not accept people from Pictou, the town, but it just becomes, again, a situation where it becomes very difficult to manage it. And if someone comes and they need food, we try and accommodate, again. But I'm not sure. It's not a great answer. I'm going to look to Debbie to see if she can give a better answer.
Put me on the spot. Yeah, we looked at this long and hard because it was a concern for a while because we didn't want to be giving double orders to people and then having to go out and buy more food ourselves. But it was some people couldn't go the days Pictou Bank were open. They work in town, and our hours were more convenient because they can slip over on a break. So it just got to the point where we didn't draw that line. It was just too difficult. We didn't want to turn people away because the first question they'd say to us, well, I've got nothing in. Like, do I have to wait until Friday afternoon and try to get there? So we just weighed it all out and just came to the conclusion that we'll do our best. We'll encourage them, if they have a Pictou address, we will encourage them to use their food bank, but we don't cut them off because they're from the other areas of the county rather than Pictou East.
Thank you. Does that answer your question, Robert?
Yes, that's good. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. No further questions then, Shelley? We thank you very much for coming and making the presentation. Okay. Item number 10, New Scotland Business Park report. Any questions on that? Everything's good? Okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. I just looking at the report here, and the first one, it says Lot LC is delayed due to a survey plan registration. So is that our fault? Is that like the registration, the survey plan due to our change in development officer, or what is causing that delay? Is that on our end or not?
You answer that, Brian, or somebody from the board?
Trying to think, it wasn't a straightforward sale. There were a bunch. Lot 5C.
It just the way this is worded makes it seem that there was a delay in the actual registering of the property, not necessarily an easement or something like that.
Yeah, it was, there were some documents that needed to be, like the original subdivision plan that came in, there were documents that were missing, and those had to be corrected before it could be
Registered.
So,
That was here before that law. I think.
yeah, but everything, all the required legal work on all the properties is now done, I believe. So there was a bit of a hiccup there, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily tied to our development officer position not being filled.
Okay, no, that's great. Just the way that it read made me feel like it was, or made it seem that it was just the actual registering of the property was a delay. So, thank you.
Any further questions on the report? Okay, we'll move on. Item 11, Resolution District 3, MSG, Councillor McKeel.
Okay, thank you very much, Deputy Warden. Be it resolved by the municipality of the County of Pictou, approve the following municipal service grants for District 3. Pictou Island Community Association, $4,910 for windows in the community center, and the Caribou River Community Hall, $570 for an AED battery, for a grand total of $5,480, dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, the 6th day of October 2025, signed by myself, Councillor Darla McKeel, and seconded by Councillor Larry Turner.
Thank you. You all heard the resolution. Any questions? Everyone in favor, say aye. Contraminded, motion carried. 11.2, resolution, District 7, MSG, Councillor Parker.
Be it resolved, the municipality of the county of Pictou approve the following municipal service grant for District 7. Middle River Presbyterian Church accessibility ramp, total cost is $4,345. Dated at Pictou, Nova Scotia, this 6th day of October, 2025, signed by myself, Councillor Donald Parker, and seconded by Councillor Ronnie Bailey.
Thank you. Any questions on the resolution? Hearing none, everyone in favor, say aye. Contraminded, motion carried. 11.3, recommendation from the Riverton Water Extension. Ryan, you on that one?
I don't have really anything else to add than what is in the memo. Just the funding opportunity is there for the grid program. So applications are open now. They close later this week. If we're successful in obtaining funding, it could advance the project a little quicker than we normally would. It's on our plan for next year. Yeah, so really it's an opportunity to get funding for a project. So we may not be successful. So
Need a motion to go ahead.
yes, we need a motion.
What's your wishes? Okay, moved by Councillor Thompson. Do we have a second? Councillor Turner, second. Any questions? Go ahead, Darla.
My question is, thank you very much, Deputy Warden. My question is, so we would be responsible for half, which would be $600,000. And where in the budget would that be coming from this year, this fiscal year?
We had the project being funded out of our gas tax reserve, the one
For next year?
for next year.
So we have the funds to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Everyone in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minded, motion carried. 11.4, recommendation, MOPC parking lot upgrades. We had 2 bids.
Yeah, so. Not a lot to add to the memo. So we received 2 bids for the upgrades to the parking lot. SW Weeks were low at $150,480. We did budget $250,000 was our budget for the upgrades for the parking lot. So,
Could you explain a little bit what the upgrades are?
yeah. So the upgrades are basically adding some additional parking. What we have found is when we have meetings, we don't have much parking. We're pretty much at a premium. So it is adding additional parking spots to the front of the building. The parking lot, the next part issue on the agenda, the EV charger. So 4 of these spots would be designated for EV vehicles. So I think it adds 21 parking spots in total to it. So not quite doubling what we have today. I think we have 28 today, so it would be adding an additional 21.
And that would be on the
parking
grass,
spot.
beyond what the paved part is now.
Yeah, so it's basically adding a second row
Yep.
by the grass, and then a few along the edges type thing. So
Okay, what's your wish? Moved by Councillor Watt, second by Councillor Thompson. Any questions? Everyone in favor, say aye. Aye. Contraminded, motion carried. 11.5, parking lot upgrades to EV chargers.
as the memo says, the proposal is to add 4 EV chargers. We did issue a request for quotation, so we used standing offers that were out there. This is a specialty product, so not everybody can supply them. So there are standing offers for the EV chargers, so we did issue a request for quotation. We were successful in getting a grant that pays up to $20,000 towards the cost off these. The grant is from Pollution Probe, and we have to have the work actually to get the grant. We have to have the work done by March 31st of 2026. The recommendation is that we accept the bid from Wesco Core. They are the low bidder and probably one of the industry actual leaders in it. So Wesco is Flow. If anybody's heard of different chargers, Flow is Wesco. Wesco make the brand Flow type thing. So.
Okay. Go ahead, Robert.
When I was looking through these bids, came back to me that during the summer, my niece was visiting here from the Ottawa area, and one of the biggest problems they had an all-electric vehicle. One of the biggest problems they had was to find a fast enough charger, like one you didn't need to sit your vehicle there half of the day. There was chargers around, but they were mostly slow. So this 7.2 or whatever, I think the Wesco bid, the next one, the next lowest one, I think is about 3 times the speed at 19 point something. So I'm wondering, is that, how fast is that 7? Is that several hours or how, 19 sounds like it's 3 times as fast, but I'm just asking about the speed of it.
They are not fast chargers or rapid chargers, so they would be they're level 2 charger, but they, if you're at empty, they are going to take you quite a while to charge. In essence, there are fast chargers now at the Pictou County Wellness Center.
Okay, and that's what they were looking for, I think, but the 19 compared to the 7.2 Wesco, is it much faster, or are they both slow chargers?
19 would be faster than the 6 for sure. It's a fast charge, but not a I forget the term that they supercharge. It's not a supercharger.
Okay, but we chose to go with the lowest price, I guess, was really the determining factor.
It was lowest, it was actually built out over a 5-year matrix at Brian's request. So we looked at capital cost for the chargers, then we looked at the warranties that each charger came with over a 5-year period, as well as their subscription costs. So when you put those in a matrix over that 5-year period, the flows come out to be the best, the most economical by, I think the figure somewhere is $6,000 or $7,000 in the difference over that 5-year period. It's somewhere in that range. There's a considerable difference between them over 5 years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to move forward? Go ahead, Andy.
Larry was
Or
first.
Larry. I can't see your,
Yeah, Larry was first.
No, you should be on your screen.
it's not.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One of the recommendations from the Climate Change Committee was the installation of chargers, electric chargers here. And so on behalf of the Climate Change Committee, I'm very pleased that we're moving forward with this. So in regards of it, the the quickness of the chargers, I guess. You know, the question is whether, you know, people come in here specifically to charge quickly, or do they come in here and you know, they come in for a meeting for half an hour and plug in. You know, that's, I guess that would be a consideration as well. So, so I'm very pleased that we're moving forward with it. And on behalf of the Climate Change Committee, thank you very much.
We get we didn't get a motion on that yet. No, can we get a motion and get it on the floor first before, okay. It's moved by Andy, seconder. Second by Debbie. Everyone in favor, say aye. Oh, wait, now, whoa, discussion. I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Discussion. Peter,
Fast charge.
Peter
Andy.
was first, Andy was
Andy.
first, okay?
Yeah.
Now, let's see ya.
Okay, thanks. Just, I see that you got 20,000 from pollution probe. Is there any other rebate programs that we can tap into? There's an FCM program. Is that the same one, or?
We had applied for another grant that we weren't successful for. And the last time I talked to Cindy Griffiths on this one, there's nothing that would backbone or piggyback off this current grant to get us that extra amount. There's nothing current.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Okay, Peter?
I was just wondering, like, when we got these, right? What does it cost people to charge? Like, I mean, if you're saying they're there for hours, I mean, I read something in the paper there or on the news that one guy was hit $600 and some for a charge, and I was just wondering, how do we come up with what we're charging, and how long does it take to charge?
Interesting question. We had that kind of discussion this afternoon. Looking around, similar chargers to this are basically $2 an hour is what it works out to. So an average vehicle, if they were to sit there, if they were empty to go to full, it's probably a charger like these, or it's going to take them, you know, anywhere from probably 8 to 10 hours, if not a little more. So you're looking $20 in that range. The superchargers that are around are probably in the, I think we figured they were probably in, well, depending on which one you went to, could be anywhere from $30 to $45 type thing. Now compare that to a gasoline vehicle, still a lot cheaper. But the range that is in Pictou County is around $2 an hour. Is the ones that are in New Glasgow that we looked at were $2 an hour.
Does that cover our expense?
In theory, it does. It's basically you're buying your kilowatts at 19 cents per kilowatt hour, so you are covering your expense with the $2, how much it is, and that's something we have to kind of drill down on, is what is that rate, but we don't necessarily want to lose money on them, so we've got to cover the electrical costs. So, and it's all, everything here is software controlled, so time somebody hooks into it, and activates it, it starts charging it. The ones that the Wellness Center actually have, that if you're full and you leave your car plugged in, it starts charging you $1, was it an hour? $1 an hour for sitting there. So you started paying a parking fee. Right? So it has, the software has the ability to do a number of things. So.
Darla?
Yep. Actually, Joe's first.
Oh, sorry, I missed them. Go ahead, Joe.
Just wondering, how much difference is these superchargers compared to these level 2s?
I don't have the exact number on the cost, Joe. I can tell you a supercharger, I believe one supercharger is probably the total cost of this project. I think they're between $40,000 and $50,000 for one of the Tesla superchargers. And you can't just put those anywhere. They have to be approved by Tesla, and there's kind of a process that you have to follow. And then you get into kind of level 3 chargers, which would be a step above these. Again, probably knock about $10,000 off from there and then down to the level 2, which is where we are for 4 of them. So yeah, the superchargers would be too difficult, I think, to put in here, the lightning fast ones, because I doubt Tesla would approve us as a provider. But yeah, so does that answer your question?
Just go back there.
Yep, he's good.
So the level 3 ones, not the supercharger, the level 3 ones, what's the difference in price there?
So we didn't actually price up the level 3 or the supercharger for the main fact that the grant is specifically to be written for level 2
Okay.
chargers. So that's all we were eligible for.
Okay.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. I guess you're talking about 19 cents per kilowatt. So at the end of the day, what is our cost? Because you hear like, 3 or 4 are these cars plugged in and they have, it's a lot. So what are we suspecting our cost might be? Because
The cost to charge the vehicle to us will be 19 cents per kilowatt hour.
so 19 cents a kilowatt hour. That's it.
Yeah, that's just the rate that Nova Scotia Power sets. So if we were to just tie those into our building and not add, I guess, a contingency in there, which we probably should think about doing regardless, to cover the cost of just those operating, it would be 19 cents a kilowatt hour, because that's what we pay for a kilowatt hour here.
So what are we going to budget on a monthly basis for that? What are
Oh,
we
that's an
thinking?
excellent question. I'm not sure. I don't know yet.
So we really won't know what this will cost us till we get into the thick of it.
It will only cost you when you're recovering costs. So the chargers only cost you money when they have a draw on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
I understand that.
So we would just break even with that logic, right? If we're charging them 19 cents a kilowatt hour, that's what we pay here for a kilowatt hour, then anything they use at 19 cents that per kilowatt hour comes back to us. But I do think there's some validity to thinking about a higher amount there, maybe to cover some of this capital cost, maybe to cover some costs down the road if you're looking at replacement to go to level 3s or whatever that may be. But no, our cost would be 19 cents a kilowatt hour.
Well, I appreciate we want to offer this service. I don't think we can go cent for cent. I mean, what if the machine breaks down and we have to pay to fix that? Or the ongoing costs of servicing those machines, right? There's a cost of everything, so.
Yeah, I think you make very good points. We haven't had a discussion to set a budget for this amount yet,
Okay.
because we haven't had approval on the purchase. So it's just very high-level information that I'm trying to provide to say, I know it's 19 cents that we pay to Nova Scotia Power, so anybody using it on ours, as long as they're paying 19 cents, we're sort of working out even. But totally get your point. Like, we should look at what we're actually going to charge
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yes, and I know, I wouldn't say even, just because, there's always a cost to doing it, so thank you.
There. Okay, any further questions? Hearing none, everyone in favor of the motion say aye. Contrary minded, motion carried. Thank you. Consideration of deferred business. Any deferred business? Deferred business. Okay, none. Motion of reconsideration. Any reconsiderations? Okay, none. Community announcements. Any community announcements? Mr. Donald Parker, I guess, is first.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to pass on a community announcement. It's just sad news in our community. We lost a very valuable member of our community out. She lived in West River Station, her and her husband Bert, for years. Her name is Marguerite Fraser. I call her Margie Fraser, but 9 children they raised, but just a stand-up member of our community, just involved in all kinds of community work in the churches, and I just want to let everybody know that her funeral's coming up here Friday, October 9th, I believe it is. October 10th at the St. Andrew's Presbyterian Gaelic Church. at 11 o'clock. But, yeah, she's going to be missed. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
There we go. So I got 3 community events. 2 are happening on October 25th. So we're going to be well fed in the District 11, I guess. Bridgeville Community Club's having a takeout chili dinner, $12 a takeout plate. Pickups between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And Fire Department in Plymouth is having their traditional roast beef dinner. And this is $15 per plate. It's on October 25th as well. Pick up between 4 and 6 p.m. It's a takeout dinner. And also at the Plymouth Fire Department on December 6th, they're having a Christmas market and bake sale, and the doors open at 9:30 a.m.
Thanks, Andy. Peter.
Yeah, on November 1st, the Hillside Hall is going to have a Halloween dance with copycats playing. There'll be prizes for best costume, dancing 9 to 1, and 19 and over, because she's a licensed event. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Joe?
The American Mission Community Center is having their weekly seniors outreach program. It goes every Wednesday until Christmas at least. And they also have their Meals on Wheels resuming this Wednesday. It goes weekly, and it goes at least till Christmas, I believe. It goes to the springtime. Thank you.
Thank you. Larry?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This thank you comes from the accessibility community. At our last accessibility committee meeting, there was a huge thank you for the construction of the Plymouth sidewalk. The accessibility community was very pleased with that construction, and it said it made a huge difference for people with accessibility issues to make their way through that particular part of the county. So a big thank you from the accessibility committee on the construction of the Plymouth sidewalk. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Debbie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just the Little Harbor Fire Department are having their annual Slam and Dinner on October the 19th from 3 to 5, and tickets are still $25 each. And if anyone wants tickets, they can just contact me and I can get them in touch with someone selling tickets. But they got permission today, because there was another concern, because the ban is still on, that they might not be able to have the fire pits, but they got permission today to go ahead and do it, so thank you.
Thank you. Robert, did you have anything? No. Okay. Okay. So that's the end of that. So we need a motion to go into camera. Seconder? Okay, regularly moved and seconded. In camera we go. Everybody's offline, are they?